I think we are live. So I don't know. In this video, I wanted to talk about living intensely because that is one thing. I don't know which I struggle with because sometimes I live very intense days wherein everything is kind of being done at a very you can say intense manner. The work, the YouTube stuff, uh, managing my music channels, the yoga channels, and whatnot. And sometimes there are days. When nothing seems very optimistic. Some days will you're feeling like a slouch, beating yourself up. So I think all of us has those days. But I wanted to just share something. It's on, I think, enthusiasm. When I read this word, it really clicked with me. So I read this that this word enthusiasm comes from the Greek word enthusiasmos, which has the literal translation of having God within or God inspired. So I think all of us, at least I believe, to somewhat level, is that if all of us have that consciousness, that Atman within. The whole pursuit in life is to give expression to that. And I feel a lot of, I don't know, quote unquote, businessmen and you can say maybe all the crony people, be it crony politicians and things like that, they live with so much enthusiasm. And the people who know, fighting the right battle, they are always very scared of how the truth would be, what consequences would be. And the people who are hell bent on destroying our planet work with a lot of intensity and a lot of enthusiasm. So going deeper and deeper, I think this is one lesson that we should pick from them, from quote unquote the crony people, because if you're like, let's say, living with an intense spirit, the atman within is kind of finding expression through that intensity. Of course there might be days when you feel off, but also remembering at the end that this is just a bodily thing. What work needs to get done should get done, no matter how you're feeling. So that's, I think, one very important skill that the people who know are fighting the right battle should cultivate. Often, why do we feel burnt out is because we feel that things are not in our control. Maybe certain people, certain situations, and things like that, but they can never be in our control. I think what we can control is our response. That is the type of thoughts we hold in our mind, the type of words that we speak, and most importantly, the type of actions we choose to commit ourselves to or do not commit. So I think one other major thing that drives these people towards enthusiasm is this thing of ruling the common people, exploiting them. Because all of these people have somewhat narcissistic and psychopathic tendencies. They just give expression to that. Why aren't you giving expression to all the good, beautiful qualities that exist within you? So, one practical way which I feel to do that is talking to a lot of old people. So, in my Hindi channel recently, I mentioned a video about an old person who I think had been battling a case for 20 years and is just now awaiting death for finding some joy in life because he's so frustrated. So once you talk with such kind of people, automatically a perspective comes in that is it the type of life that I really want to lead? And I think from that source, once you derive your enthusiasm, that makes sense. Because like, here's another way to look at it. Billions of people came before us. Maybe billions would exist after us. If you die right now, even if I die right now, the world would continue just as it is. No one would care. Maybe your close relatives, maybe your close parents would care for a day, a week at max, and then they'll move on. Talking about what would happen of his properties, like, what would happen of his assets, where would his money go, etc., etc. So, having that attitude that you're so excited by your purpose that you just can't sleep at night, you're just waiting to get back to it, is very important. And one more thing I feel is when you live a very intense day, you'll see that the type of sleep that you'll get, you won't be distracted. Let's say if there are 10 people in your room talking a loud volume, TVs are kind of going on. If you have done your work, lived your day very well, within I think 3 to 5 minutes, you'll fall asleep. Or if I have to quote an analogy, so sleep is I think synonymous to death. So you'll fall dead within 3 to 5 minutes. And once you sleep like that, there's a certain rhythm, there's a certain cadence to your life. So I think one of the most important fixes, if you want to fix your life, is to fix your sleep. A day well lived leads to a peaceful, a joyful sleep, and then that cycle kind of continues upward and upwards. So there's some wisdom to that. When a lot of people say that early to bed, early to rise as the sun. So as like as in when the sun rises, your body should also rise. So be in tune with the nature, because we have become so uh, screen oriented, such freaks of the internet, that all the time we want to just sit in front of this. Which brings me to my next point is experimenting with ways to live your life. Because let's say a person says, go to school, get a job, and these type of things. Maybe it works for some, maybe it does not work for you. But having that attitude to see what is it that demands my attention, what is it that my life demands from this moment. Because for some people, they just want someone to lead them, but some people just want to make decisions on studying a lot of various things in the universe, seeing how things click for them, and a lot of other things. So whatever type of person you are, if you like to follow orders or if you like to uh, experiment through your own understanding, that's I think something that should be dealt with more and more. The more you kind of develop or deepen your understanding, the more experiments you'll have, or at least the courage to take more experiments you'll have. That so it's similar to I think I don't know, a very common topic might be weight loss. Some people think cutting everything, going on a vegan diet helps. Some people think that's the other way. To each his own, but probably I think experimentation is how you kind of come to that conclusion. And I think that kind of leads you to live a very unique and authentic life, because most people are just replicas of their parents, of the conditioning of the society around. But living an actual raw and intense life is far more greater. It requires more courage, but in that process, it also develops you more. All the great people that you read in history were people who took risks, who broke themselves. So, I don't know, I think these were just some thoughts that were kind of going on in my head. I don't know how this video has come out to be, but if you find anything of value, feel free to comment. But what you liked, what you disliked, feel free to comment. And yeah, this is Debashish Pindra from Debu Ki Dastak signing off. Cheers. Bye.